The next building block that we have is the customer relationship. Now, you have your customer segment, you have the value proposition, you have the channels via which you could reach him. Now, there also needs to be some kind of relationship that you start establishing with your customers. Now, customer relationship is generally of three types. The first kind of relationship that you try to build with your customer is to acquire him. The second type of relationship is, once having acquired the customer, you'd want to retain him. Now, having retained the customer, you'd want an increased share of his wallet. Now, that's boosting your sales. Now, the example over here that you could think of is that of Reliance Communication. When they launched the CDMA phones, what Reliance did was offered a phone plus a connection at rupees 250. Now, rupees 250 was in days when some of the mobile phone operators also charged for an incoming call facility. Now, that was Reliance's strategy of acquiring new customers. Now, having acquired all these customers at rupees 250, what Reliance did was had a strategy in place to retain those customers. The way in which it executed the strategy was to provide roaming and STD charges at very, very low prices. Now, if you all remember, most of our parents had Reliance phones to call their relatives, so that the cost is minimized, and the only charges that they incurred was rupees 500 for a month's usage. So there was no limit on the amount of STD calls that you could make, and the bill was limited to rupees 500. Now, I'm talking about days when STD charges from Bangalore to Delhi used to be rupees 5 a minute. Having such a facility not only made the customers buy this kind of connection, it also made them use it. Now, it executed its strategy of acquiring customers and retaining customers. Now comes the next step. Reliance cannot continue to do so in the longer run, because at the end of the day, all organizations are for-profit making organizations. Now, how do mobile phone companies, or how do Reliance, or how do companies in general plan to make or increase the wallet share of their customer segment? Now, the idea is to provide them with value-add services. How many of us don't have caller tunes, for which you pay a rental of rupees 15 a month? Or how many of us don't use mobile applications today? Or how many of us don't use a Facebook application today? So all these applications, they cost, and though the incremental cost of these applications are low, but for the mobile phone companies, it is the easiest way of making or extracting a high wallet share from their customer segment. We've covered the 4 building blocks. Now, coming to the 5th building block, which is the revenue block. Now, you have your customer segment, you have your value proposition, you have the channels via which you would reach out to them, you have your customer relationship that you have established with your customer. And now the bottom line is, you are up for profit making organization, and the goal of the organization is to make profits. So now let us look at the profit block or the revenue block. Here, the companies charge the customer segment for the services that they use. Now, there are various ways in which you could charge your customer. Now, one of the ways is to sell an asset and take money for that. The example is, you sell a ticket to a customer and he pays that for you. So that is an inventory that you have sold to him. The second way is a subscription based model, wherein you enroll into a gym, you pay him an yearly subscription or yearly charges, or when you subscribe to a magazine, you pay the magazine a subscription charge. Now that's a way for that business model to make money. You also have brokerages, the indiabulls.com or the sharekhans.com, wherein you pay them brokerages for any stock trades that you do on their site. Likewise, you have various revenue channels that you have to keep in mind for your target customer segment, so that you make money out of your venture. Now, I have covered through the front end of a business model, which is about facing a customer, starting off with identifying your customer, targeting him, value proposition that you have, reaching out to customers and making money out of it. Now, that's the front end and marketing perspective. There is also a lot of back end activities that you need to do. Now, one of the important aspects in any business or the core of any business are the key activities that you do. Now, key activities are the way in which you create your value proposition. Now, for a Nike or an Adidas, whose value proposition is only a brand, their key activity is marketing. Sponsoring FIFA events, sponsoring NBA events, and that is their key activity. So a business cannot exist without their key activity, and that should be its core competency. Now, the next building block that you know of, or that you should be aware of, happens to be the key resources. Now, to do the key activities, you require to have some kind of key resources who should be very specialized. Now, if you look at the case of a pharmaceutical industry, you require scientists who research on drugs and produce new medicines. And for a pharmaceutical industry, the researchers happen to be the key resources that they cannot live without. Now, let us look at the next building block, which happens to be the key partnerships. Now, understood, we have key resources who perform key activities, who create value propositions that get delivered to your target customer segment. But key partnerships is something which is very important to have your key resources and to perform your key activities. Now, if you look at today's manufacturing setups, all the manufacturing companies have their suppliers closer to them. If you remember the Tata Nano plant, Tata, when was building their manufacturing plant in West Bengal, also had a group of suppliers along with him. Now, these suppliers happen to be your key partners, without whom it would be very difficult to compete in this world. Now, what do these key partners help you with? Now, in case of Tata, key partners help you with uninterrupted supply of components, because without the components your production cannot be done, and you wouldn't want your production to halt or stop because of the lack of key components. A very recent example of a tsunami in Japan and the after effects of it was all the Toyotas of the world and the Hondas of the world sent out an advertisement in the newspaper saying they would reduce their production to half because their key component or their suppliers in Japan have been affected by tsunami. Just wonder if those component makers were sitting beside them in the factories in India, they wouldn't have had to face such a situation, and they wouldn't have had to lose out on the revenues because of such a disaster that happened in Japan. Now, the last component of it, all the building blocks I spoke about also have a cost factor associated with it. Now, you can have key partnerships, you can have key resources with you, you can perform key activities, you can produce value propositions. All these things incur cost. That is the last component of a business plan generation, wherein you look at all the other blocks and identify or calculate the costs associated with each of these blocks. Now, I would be ending my session here on business plan generation, but no business plan can exist without financials, because nobody is going to appreciate your idea without the numbers. Now, in the coming classes, I would take you all through how each of these blocks link to various line items in your financial statements, so that you could prepare the financial statements and be investor ready.